Hello, welcome to Bespoke Unit. Today we're going to be covering a 5-step process for creating the perfect at-home Tupperdor. Hello, my name is Paul Anthony from Bespoke Unit.
And I'm CP.
And today we're looking at building your own Tupperdor. You may have come here from a YouTube search or the bespokeunit.com website, or even been pushed over here from our video, which is how to store cigars without a humidor. So if any one of those situations or any others, welcome. So we're going to go through a quick 5-part guide on how to create a perfect Tupperdor. Quickly, part 1, you got to get a Tupperdor. Part 2, a humidification agent or device. Part 3, we recommend having a calibrated hygrometer. Absolutely. Part 4, optional, and part 3 is kind of optional, is having Cedar or Cedar trays. And then part 5 is actually putting your cigars in and then letting them sit there before you want to enjoy them.
Well, step 1, choosing your Tupperdor is paramount. You do not want to get something that doesn't offer an airtight seal. If you do use something that doesn't have an airtight seal, there's no point in having it in the first place.
So we like this plastic option because you want to explain why?
So this is a Sistema from the Klip-It range. It's the 1870, so it's quite large. This could actually get some shelves in there, so this is a large scale Tupperdor. What's great about Sistema, it's a New Zealand brand that uses BPA-free and phthalate-free plastic, which is a non-toxic. These toxins may taint your cigars, may change the flavour, not sure. But either way, why take the risk when you can get this and it's very affordable at $12.
And this has a very nice rubber gasket around the whole way and 4 different clips as well. If you're not into plastic, because I'm not really into plastic as well, this is obviously a pretty tiny one. This is from Pro Glass, and I think you can fit probably about 8 cigars in here. Oh, yeah. You've actually got a, you can put like a Boveda pack in, for example.
Fits in perfectly.
Fit in some nice Robustos, and you've probably got 8 cigars here. This is one of their smaller versions, and you can probably pick around 5 of these up for like under $20. Again, it's got a very nice rubber gasket around it. But that's if you've got some smaller needs, and you could obviously still put, you know, a calibrated hygrometer in there as well if you've got some smaller needs. But let's get on to making a little bit more of a reasonable size Tupperdor.
We are big proponents of Boveda, and they're very beneficial in a scenario like this because of their 2-way humidification process. So the reason you need 2-way humidification is that because these are airtight, if you use a traditional humidifier like distilled water, a foam or gels, it will continuously, even once you reach the desired humidity level, or RH, there's a guide for that by the way, up here, down there, what is RH? Even if you reach that level, it'll keep releasing moisture, which can then mean that you're going to over-humidify your cigars and cause a wealth of problems.
Cracked wrappers, poor smoking experience, mold, the list goes on and on.
Exactly.
So, you know, so the first step is obviously getting one of these.
Absolutely.
Also, I like to use this kind of option. I know I bang on about it in all videos, to acclimate cigars before I put them into my main storage solutions. So this is great. So I can pop a box in here, you know, pop a Boveda pack in, bring the box and the cigars to the RH that I store my main cigars at, so I'm not going to shock my main storage system. And you should maybe look at doing that. Even in a Tupperdor scenario, maybe have a small backup like this to acclimate your cigars before you put it in here. What we're really trying to do is keep cigars at a nice, happy medium, whether that's long-term storage for old world, which may be as low as 62% or lower, or if you're going to be using new world cigars and you want to smoke them in the next few weeks, you may want to keep them at 68, 69, the magic 70, 70 range. But again, you want to kind of think about keeping this stuff as steady as possible and not spike temperature and RH as well.
Exactly. So you just want to use 1 Boveda pack per 25 count of a humidor. When in this scenario, it's going to be a bit of a guess, but we would say at least 4. You can't over humidify with Boveda packs. So Boveda packs. I keep pronouncing it wrong.
Boveda.
Tomato.
So yeah, so we'd probably play 4 packs.
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
for sure. Yeah.
So
there's no risk.
So obviously the one way we could use this is we just put the Boveda packs in, put some cigars on top, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, there we go. We got some trays. What's great about this one is
if we do it just out the tray for a second, if we do the cheap version, well, not the cheap version, just the most economical version,
there you go.
Then obviously, I suppose this is the economical version 1. You've got a humidification source, an airtight seal, and then you're basically there.
Exactly.
This is more than fine, especially if you're using a two-way humidifier such as Boveda. In this container, I'd probably use 69% or 65 because it is airtight.
Yeah, exactly.
And then this is, if you're not really too much into cigars or you're just storing cigars for an upcoming party or event, I could say you could probably stop here.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
But we want to take it one step further.
So if you want to take it one step further, you can introduce Cedar.
You're jumping the gun.
No, I'm jumping the gun. I'm such a rush. I mean, for me, a hygrometer is such a given, especially a calibrated digital hygrometer.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah, of course.
We have the three main smart hygrometers on the table here. So when we say smart, is that they actually connect to your phone as well. So we have the 6-saw here, which is probably my favorite, but it is $200.
So when you're spending 20 odd bucks on all this, like the Humidify and the Tupperdor, do you want to spend 200 bucks on a?
Probably not. So then we have the sensor push one, which is around 50, and then probably the most reasonable option is the Boveda Butler, which is 20, which I think performs just as well as the smart sensor. Only downside of this, it doesn't hook into your Wi-Fi, it's only Bluetooth connected, but if you're within 100, I think it's Bluetooth 2, or whatever that technology is, within 100 feet, you can actually use a redundant device to then tie into your Wi-Fi, yada yada. I haven't done that yet, but the reason this is nice is that once you pop it in there with some cigars,
you want to do that again? I just put them back.
We're pretend there's cigars in here. We don't. Once we're in here, we don't have to open. I know it's see-through. So what's your other digital hygrometer?
I use a Hygro Set 2 by Quality Importers. It's a round one. There's a link below where to get it, and I think that is great.
So you can see through and see it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to open it, and those are about 15 bucks. Once calibrated, you have about 2% tolerance, which is pretty good.
If you do the two-stage on this, I think this is 1.5.
Yeah, it's much.
So when we're talking about calibrating them, there are like specific calibration methods. The salt method is absolutely useless.
Garbage.
There's plus minus 10 to 15 even more % variance on that, depending on the salt you use, the ambient humidity, everything. So what's nice when you use, like for example, a Boveda calibration kit, when you buy one of these, is that it's got a 75% RH pack in there, which has got an extremely low tolerance, as it only uses one form of salt. And then basically...
there you go.
Yeah,
it's just one of these.
Just one of those.
Literally got a little pack in there.
What
are you doing?
I'm testing out like don't use an analog hygrometer, which is unfortunately is in there because they're notoriously off.
Well, it's reading 65, and this is a 75% pack, so that says it. So
that basically sums it up. So we don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole. There are links below on where we review all of these models. We review the best smart sensor, and we talk about how to calibrate these and actually how to use the Boveda Butler app. But this is kind of step 2. So you've got, well, step 3, you've got your airtight container, your humidification source, and now you've also got an option of how to track the temperature and relative humidity within this humidor, which is its own controlled environment. So that's there, seal it up. Now that's the kind of the next phase.
Yeah,
of what
so
you can
that's
do.
the absolute base. Yeah, that's all you need, really. I'm really keen about this because I love Cedar, I love wooden humidors, and I believe there are significant benefits to them, although they do have their own drawbacks. But here you can have the best of both worlds by introducing cedar shelving, or if it's a smaller Tupperdor, you can at least get veneer or strips of cedar, which will produce the same similar effects. What's great about the Klip-It 1870 is that it is just the right size for shelving. Isn't that brilliant?
But what do you need to do to the shelving before we get going?
So the first thing you need to do is season it. That is absolutely imperative. If you don't season the wood, it means that it's dry, and you put that in with a humidification device and the cigars, the chances are it won't just prevent you getting the necessary RH, but it may even suck moisture out of the cigars, because wood loves to absorb.
Especially like, so just say for example, you're storing like one of these cigars like here against dry wood, it could actually dry the underside of this cigar, so you could get like burn issues here compared to here. It's not good. I know Boveda recommend 1 seasoning pack per 25 count humidor. As these are trays, I would say you can maybe even get away with 1 of those packs, because there's no wood on the roof or the sides of it. So you pop that in there for 2 weeks, you'll season the wood, and then you should be good to go.
You can even be storing your cigars already in here and just having this next to it in a different storage container, just seasoning up. And the great thing about Spanish Cedar, why you would want to consider it, is there are 3 reasons. Firstly, it is apparently an insect repellent.
Yep.
So it will prevent or help against tobacco beetles and worms. Secondly, wood does have a natural membrane property, especially Spanish cedar. Because it absorbs a lot of moisture, it means that it also releases it if you do have any sudden drops in humidity. So you do get this kind of membrane buffering effect, and it will slow down the change and give you time to intervene if necessary. And thirdly, the beautiful scent of cedar can impart a little bit of flavour on your cigars, not so much that it will undermine the original's flavour, but it will actually bring something new to it. But you only want to use Spanish cedar because other types of cedar do not provide the same benefits and may even add too much of a scent to your cigars or be counterproductive in their storage.
So now I've kind of gone ahead and set up this ultimate storage unit, you know, here. What I would do is not put the Boveda sensor directly on to the pack. It's going to be reading R8 through here, so I'd probably put it on the cigars or to the side, just so it's not reading directly off that. And then once you're in there, you can just close this puppy up. We even have a whole box in here as well.
You could probably put, without the shelves, a full-size nut box. I know they're not big as boxes go, but you could definitely fit one in there.
So I think ultimately this is probably the most maxed out Tupperdor version you can get. It's got a digital hygrometer there that's been calibrated and is connected to your phone. It's got some cedar trays for all the benefits that Charles-Phillipe just mentioned. It's got a two-way humidification source, and it has an airtight seal. So I think pretty much you're good to roll off that. What you're not going to want to have this in direct sunlight, because any cigar storage solution really doesn't want to be in direct sunlight, and we have videos below on why that is the case. So you want to store this in a cool, dry place, whether it's in the basement or in a bottom cupboard, not next to air intakes or outtakes. If you've got central air, so it's not getting too hot or too cold or any temperature spikes. But you know, I think for us, so we've got what, $12 for the Tupperdor container.
$6 per pack.
But well, I think it's a little less here. It's cheaper than Europe, so they're a little bit more expensive.
I live in France,
so I think they're about $4 or $5 here. So just say like we're maximum. So we've got 12, 20 on the Boveda packs. We've got 10, 12 a shelf. So called 25, 36, 55, 20. So you're probably looking at $70, $80 for this setup, which, you know, considering that's kind of where the best value stroke cheapest wooden humidors are. This has kind of got all the benefits of that, plus you've already got the humidification solution, and you've got the calibrated hygrometer, and you've got a pretty large capacity. This is definitely a fantastic option for anyone who may be getting into cigars. It's not a big monetary investment, or anyone who's looking to store, you know, a large number of cigars or create different environments. I personally store old world cigars for long-term storage at 62%, New World cigars at 65% for long-time storage, and I bring Old World up to 65 2 weeks before smoking, and New World up to 69 before smoking. But there are exceptions to that rule. So for example, some Dominican Puros like the Opus X by Arturo Fuente, like I might want to smoke those a little bit lower at 65s, even though they're technically New World tobacco. Again, personal preference, but getting back to basics, this is an absolutely fantastic humidor option.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which is good. So, Charles, any comments or questions?
I mean, obviously these aren't perfect. They're on something of a budget. They do have their downsides. They're quite fragile. This one does have a little crack at the back because I dropped it like a numpty.
We'll both fall on the sword. We don't know how it cracked. We were shuffling around. We have about 15 humidors we're actually testing and trying out, so it kind of...
Then again, you drop an acrylic humidor or wooden humidor, it's going to fall to smither, probably break to pieces as well. It's going to get damaged. So.
Or in our cheap humidor guide, if you take a fist to a cheap humidor, it might break. Link below. So we've got everything covered here. We've got like Tupperdors, cheap humidors, best value humidors, luxury humidors where we cover cigar humidors in the $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 range, and we also have small, medium and large humidors as well. So if you're coming here just to see this, there's plenty more to explore here at Bespoke Unit. If you know of any other brands that you think are great for Tupperdors, please include them. We have technically one of the largest Tupperdor options.
So this is technically, well, it would be considered a cooler door. This is just the lid. It's 82 quarts. It's the Iris USA Remington. And here we've got foam gaskets, so it's much better than the majority of storage solutions of this size, because some of them need retrofitting with gaskets.
Yeah.
These are great. Technically, a cooler door is a cooler that's been converted into cigar storage, but large storage containers, as long as it's hermetically sealed, as long as it's airtight, will have the same benefits.
The problem is a lot of those modern coolers, for safety reasons, don't create an airtight seal in case children fall in them. So that's definitely, that was a nice little trick given to me by Rob Garnier over at, you know, yeah, put your kids on ice for a while. But yeah, so, you know, this is definitely a great desktop solution. Then please, any comments or questions below on any other solutions that you think have worked for you or that we should include. We have a page on bespokeinit.com/cigars where we update the list and recommendations as the community contributes and as we learn and grow here ourselves with our journey into keeping cigars perfectly stored. So please check the link below for that, because I know Charles-Phillipe and I update that regularly. So with all that being said, please like this video if you found it helpful. Also like the channel, subscribe to it, and turn on those notifications, because as you're probably aware from the extremely long extra I'm giving you, we have many other resources all around cigars, all around other men's lifestyle topics as well, such as watches, suits, shoes, whiskey, champagne, your personal favorite,
fragrances.
And fragrances.
No, I can't forget fragrances.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of stuff we cover. Basically, Bespoke Unit is a way for us to explore all of our passions and hopefully your passions as well. And you know, the idea is that maybe you cross-pollinate. Maybe you're a cigar guy now, but you know, Bespoke Unit opens your eyes to some of the wonderful worlds that we explore. You know, such as you say, fragrances, champagne, etc. So, with that being said, my name's Paul Anthony.
And I'm CP.
And I'll see you next time.
Take care.